So, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the worst YouTube channel on the face of the earth. And today, I was scrolling through YouTube, kind of trying to find something while I was eating dollar store fucking food. And I'm not even joking about that. It really was just dollar store food. Um, but hey, that shit slaps, because I'm broke. Uh, while scrolling through, I found a video called "Will GTA 6 Be Woke and Lame? Massive or Rockstar's Massive Changes versus Rick and Morty After Rollout or After Rollin'." It's apparently a re-upload, so I don't know uh what the fuck this is exactly. It has less than 100 views. It has been posted. It was posted 14 hours ago, um, from today's date, which that would be the 10th of July of 2026. And I gotta say, this is going to be one hell of a video. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Let's see what this guy's gonna say. It's obviously really a grip. Jesus Christ, it's so loud.
Greetings and welcome to the Culture Ward, where we dissect and dismantle pop culture in all its forms. Grand Theft Auto
Okay.
6 is coming later this year, and it's probably the most anxiously anticipated entertainment product ever, expected to have a huge, detailed
I mean, it is the most anticipated product of this year. I will say that. Um, I will say that that's kind of a true statement, so let's continue.
open world and industry-leading gameplay. However, some folks are worried that the satire and humor that the series is known for will be toned down,
I've literally
sanitized,
never
and
heard that.
woke. Now,
I have literally never heard anyone say that, by the way. Like, not a single person has ever said that to me. Like, oh, I'm worried that GTA 6 is it's gonna be too woke. It's gonna be too, whatever. I've never heard that whatso fucking ever.
while this is nothing more than speculation at this point, we can find some pretty compelling parallels with new seasons of Rick and Morty. How,
I
you
don't
may
see
ask?
how.
Well, join us as we explore the perhaps not so obvious correlation between Rick and Morty and GTA 6. But before we begin, please take a second to hit that subscribe button.
I just realized something. This dude is using a snowball mic. Like, it does not get much fucking depressing than that. Um, Living in mom's basement, clearly. Okay, I'm kidding. I'm kidding you two. But in all seriousness, how does that relate? How does Rick and Morty relate to this at all?
And help us grow the channel. As always, it really means a lot to us. And don't forget to like and share the video if you enjoy the content. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. So, for the past week or two, the internet has been abuzz with talk about GTA 6 after pre orders went live alongside some new information. Most of the controversy surrounding the pre order event involves first the $80 price tag. Apparently, people have a strong opinion about that. And, sparking even more energetic debate, the revelation that there will be no physical copies of the game sold.
The reason why people are upset that GTA 6 as a whole is digital only and is $80 is because it sets an industry standard. It sets a new standard for gaming as a whole. If we start pricing games, give me one second. If we start pricing games, and I mean seriously, if we start pricing games at $80, 80 fucking dollars, that is an astronomical amount of money. That is way too much for digital media. On top of that, the reason why people are pissed is because they want the game on their shelf. People want it on their shelf. Like, I don't have a shelf in here, but I know that like I have a friend. My roommate has a shelf in his room, and it is, in all sense of the word, it's got a bunch of stuff on it. It's got like, little knickknacks and stuff like that. I have some knickknacks myself, but people are upset that this game which is supposed to come out in less than 6 months from now, is in all sense of the word going to be a disastrous launch because people can't people can't put it in their PlayStation or their Xbox. There's a whole other controversy on top of that, like the fact that it's better on Rockstar, or Rockstar made it specifically designed to work better on PS5 Pro, which is a $900 system. On top of the fact that he's going to mention this too, that Sony is getting rid of physical media as a whole, which is kind of a mm, people again want to have their games physically because they want the day one patch, they want the day one thing. But that's aside the point.
That's right, allegedly pursuant to Sony's instructions, PlayStation games will be phasing out physical media, going to an all digital ecosystem. And people are mad. Some stores are refusing to sell the game, people are threatening to abandon their consoles, and generally, many folks are just plain angry, and not without good reason.
The reason why people are angry is, like I said before, people want to have their games. And on top of that, like, you're not gonna go and just charge $80 for something you can't physically own. If you've ever looked at any Ultimate Edition back in 2016 or 2014, they were huge. They had like a little fucking decorative thing. They had in some cases they had items or products from the or products, but items from the game. They had things that would be memorable to them. And you're not seeing that now. You're seeing just the company skimp out. And again, Sony doing this is trying to set an industry standard. And the reason why people are abandoning their consoles is because on Steam and GOG and all these other platforms, they don't make games readily unavailable. And this is another way to go and say, well, if you don't have Grand Theft Auto 6 installed in 5 to 10 years' time, I'm gonna go and say 10 to 20 years, but in 10 to 20 years' time, if Rockstar, or I say Rockstar, if Sony chooses to delist the game, or not delist it, but to remove those servers and make it impossible to get those games again, like they are doing with the PS3 and what Microsoft did with the 360, um, that creates a problem, and before you know it, you can't play those games anymore because you don't own them. Because if you don't have a physical version of that game where you can pop a disc into the game, that's a problem because then you can't play the game at all.
But something that has gotten less attention, but has the potential to be perhaps even more disappointing, is the possibility that the game itself will be completely different from previous GTA titles. Specifically, there is a non zero chance that the writing in this game will be sanitized, politically correct, boring, unfunny, woke garbage.
That's such a fucking dumb thing to fucking say. No one is worried about the humor in this game. No one is. No one. Not me, not my buddies who were planning on pre-ordering this game, not my homies who were planning on fucking playing this game for fucking umpteenth hours of the night. Not a fucking person is worried about that. If you're worried about that, you are a part of the problem with fucking gaming. If you think that these devs, the creators behind this game, are causing this to be politically correct and woke because you have such a warped worldview, that's your fault, your problem.
Well, what does woke even mean?
I hear you, valiant culture
Hold on.
woke garbage.
Well, what does woke even mean?
I hear you, valiant culture warriors bellowing from the rooftops. Well, in the parlance of our time,
In the parlance of our times, you know.
woke generally means being overly influenced by progressive politics.
That's not what woke means. That's not what woke means. And I'll give you an example. Here is what woke really means. In politics, woke means having a heightened awareness of systemic injustices, particularly regarding race, gender, and sexual orientation. Now I understand this is from like the AI overview, but this isn't exactly incorrect. This is this is what it really means. Um, it's design it's literally just there to show, hey, we have a problem and it's down to the core and we need to fix it. That's what woke means. If this fucking dude thinks that, then he's fucking wrong. Back to the stupid ass video.
Diversity, equity, inclusion initiatives, corporate sensitivity, and political correctness, always terrified of offending anyone, other than conservatives or straight white males, that is. It means being hypersensitive to, quote, marginalized groups and the oppressed victim class, to the point of being lame and insufferable. And in a game that has made its name on being offensive, crude, and acerbically satirical,
It was never made to be that way, by the way. Like, if you actually ever play through any of the Grand Theft Auto games, like, it was never to be, like, satirical like, yes, they poke fun at everything. They really do. Both sides, left and right. But it isn't designed with that in mind. If you actually listen to the radio in GTA 4, it is like them calling out Republicans. It's them calling out Republicans. It's them calling out Democrats. It's them calling out political injustices as well. It's them calling it as stupid as it is, or they're calling it as wrong as it is, or whatever. Like it's always been like that, and it will continue to be like that.
it threatens to ruin the experience for a large portion of the fan base. You
No,
see, GTA is known for its sharp, boundary pushing satirical wit, offensive humor, and a profound willingness to mock everyone equally. It's one of the things that makes the series so beloved and honestly fun to play.
no. What makes this series so beloved is how much effort they put into these games. In between the span of GTA 5 and GTA 6, we only got two new fucking Rockstar titles. And one of them was only by the same, or was only under the same studio that did GTA. We got Red Dead Redemption, which is a story-rich game, and we also got LA Noire, which I don't really know much about LA Noire, so I'm not gonna talk about it too much. But from what I've seen online, it's kind of the same thing with Red Dead. And it's like a mixture of both. It's story rich while also being like satirically funny of the time. You absolute fucking buffoon. Like he doesn't understand that. That's why people are like, if you're buying a game, and I'm not kidding, if you're buying a game and your whole prerogative behind buying said game is if it's too woke, then dude, sell your fucking consoles. Sell your consoles, sell all the entertainment you fucking have in terms of video games. Because we have been calling out systemic problems since the fucking 80s.
Yes, there have always been plenty of jokes at the expense of conservatives, gun enthusiasts, and rednecks, but they have also lampooned liberals, gay culture, and political correctness itself. Essentially, GTA made a point of mocking modern society and all of its excesses without overt political messaging one way or another. And it has worked, making it one of the best-selling entertainment products in history. However, since the last proper installment of GTA, which came out in 2013, there have been a number of leaks, rumors, or other revelations that call into doubt Rockstar's continued commitment to universal offense. For instance, there are reports and leaks claiming that Rockstar implemented DEI-focused training and hiring practices in recent years, including programs such as unconscious bias training and privilege wheel sessions.
Where are you getting this information from? Where are you getting this information from? I have never heard that. I have never heard that. As for unbiasedness, that is a good thing. To be unbiased is another way of saying, man, I understand that you're black. I understand that you're white or Hispanic or whatever. And I understand that, by the end of the day, I really do, I do have a bit of a privilege over you. and I'm trying to treat you as much as you would treat me. Like that's what it's for. I have never seen this before. I have never seen this specific thing, the interpersonality of the wheel of privilege, which does not exist. That is not a thing. That is being pushed by the right. It is a illegitimate thing so many times before.
These programs allegedly targeted white and Asian employees, required acknowledgement of white privilege, and issued certificates which were then posted on LinkedIn profiles. There was even a rumor that DEI consultants Sweet Baby Inc. were hired at some point in GTA 6's development cycle. And while these claims remain unconfirmed by Rockstar, in 2022, Bloomberg apparently reported that Rockstar underwent a corporate overhaul, making the studio more inclusive, reducing the gender pay gap, and curbing what they referred to as, quote, frat boy culture. Even assuming Bloomberg's reporting was meant to run cover for Rockstar, these revelations still sound pretty discouraging.
That's not a bad thing. They are a multi-billion-dollar company. Take-Two Interactive is a billion-dollar company. Grand Theft Auto is a billion-dollar franchise. They have made their money tenfold. Every single title they have released, they have made millions to billions of dollars, depending on what title you're talking about. With GTA 5, they've made probably closer to like $2 to $4 billion alone. That's how much they sell these games. They sell them at a loss too. So this being a problem for you, you need to just fucking stop playing video games then. Just flat out.
Pointing to a softening in the offensive edge that made GTA so fun and hilarious.
It's not funny to be offensive.
You're not just wrong, you're stupid. And you're ugly, just like your mum.
That's such a stupid thing to say. It isn't funny to be offensive. It isn't. It isn't. It's just disparaging. It's disparaging towards you. It's disparaging towards me. It makes me look like an ass. It makes you look like an idiot. It only insults people.
Yes, it is. Now, a joke is not necessarily funny just because it's offensive, but if it's done right, it absolutely can be funny, regardless of who is the butt of the joke. Anyway, in addition to these rumors, a December 2024 Bloomberg report by Jason Schreier stated that Rockstar is directing writers to be, quote, less crude toward transgender people and other minorities, the common targets of throwaway gags in previous versions. That report came after it was
Yeah, because spoiler warning, no one likes to be treated like shit. No one. Not you, not me, not my sister, not my mom, not my brother. No one wants to be the butt end of the joke. No one does. No one does. I don't that is such a stupid fucking thing. And again, it's with the times. It's how we've treated people. We're only doing it because it is more accepted today than it was 15 years ago or 10 years ago. Grand Theft Auto 6 came out, or Grand Theft Auto 6, Grand Theft Auto 5 came out at a time where that stuff was slowly becoming more prevalent and a part of the general population. And now that is even more so. So to go and openly straight up say, let's not insult those people is like going and saying, let's not do anything stupid. Let's not make any stupid jokes about people so that way they won't buy our game.
confirmed that Rockstar had quietly removed certain transgender content when they released the next-gen update of GTA 5, including a doll with interchangeable genitalia and cross-dressing NPCs that spawned outside of a nightclub. Apparently, those moves were prompted, at least in part, by an open letter from LGBTQ plus
MMIWG2SLGBTQQIA+.
And it's another insult.
advocacy group out making games. Now, obviously, critics fear this signals self-censorship, and I mean,
If it's self-censorship, then it's fine.
it clearly does, with fewer jokes that, quote, punch down on marginalized groups, shying away
Yeah.
from edgy stereotypes, and a less irreverent
That's a
tone overall.
good thing.
And these are all valid concerns, in my opinion. Now, while
That is not a valid concern. Seriously. That is not a valid concern. A valid concern would be something along the lines of, I don't think Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be as good as everybody's saying it is. I don't think Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be as great as everybody thinks it is. And how the fuck does this relate to God damn it, fucking Rick and Morty?
While all of these things strike an ominous tone for the content of the game, another issue that's at least as concerning are the massive changes in the creative team since the last GTA game.
Yeah.
Key longtime creatives have departed, sparking fears that the soul of old Rockstar is gone, and
The reason why they left is because they had their own reasons. Like they have their own, like they just didn't want to work with Grand Theft Auto anymore because the company is not what it is anymore. The company is not as good as it used to be. Like Rockstar used to be a really good fucking business and they used to do things for the people. And now they're just doing it for money because they got bought out by fucking Take-Two Interactive.
newer influences favor sensitivity to raw humor and irreverence. This
I wonder
includes Dan
why.
Houser, one of the founders of Rockstar Games, who left the company in 2020. He was joined by Michael Unsworth, Laszlo Jones, and Leslie Benzies, among several other veteran creatives that all made GTA the funny, satirical phenomenon that it was. And if the content that has been developed for GTA Online since their departure is any indication of what we can expect, well, it doesn't look good for GTA 6 at all.
Have no fear, it is I, Badakadon! Badakadon!
Regardless of whether it leans into DEI, identity politics, or political correctness, the writing just seems dumb, boring, and lame. Or as one YouTuber called it,
fucking gay and retarded.
Whoa. Whoa. That is fucking crazy. Like I don't that is stupid. That is such a broken mindset. Again, this is what people like to push because either they don't want to fucking accept facts for what they are or they just don't care.
while changes in personnel don't necessarily spell disaster for an IP, we do know that even relatively small variations in creative vision can negatively affect the finished product. As an example, I refer to the adult animation series Rick and Morty. The series, which
God.
premiered in 2013, was created by Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland, and it's a science fiction comedy show that revolves around a psychotic genius, Rick Sanchez, and his grandson Morty as they travel the multiverse on strange and often off-putting adventures. The show was an instant success, balancing mind-bending sci-fi concepts with shocking, offensive, offbeat humor. Honestly, it's one of the funniest shows in decades.
It also came out in like 2013 and was like it's now seen better days and the writers have actually started to write apparently gooder better episodes and I was gonna say gooder because that's not a word, but this is such a stupid fucking point to draw to. Like I'm not an animation channel, obviously. Like I'm more of a video game sphere type deal. Like I'm not this. I understand I understand comedy and I understand funny, but this is not that. This is just him wanting to bitch about this.
The first 3 seasons are universally regarded as the best of the series, with seasons 4, 5, and 6 being kinda hit or miss. But in 2023, Justin Roiland had some rather unpleasant allegations levied against him. And without hesitation,
Yeah, they were allegations, and I think they were proven to be false. And uh, I have to look this up. Give me a second. So it appears that these were allegations that were later proven to be false, but um, under the stuff that I just looked at, it was also something to deal with um, sexual misconduct in the workplace as well as inappropriate relationships with minors, and it was a whole thing, and it happened, and he left. He was removed from uh, multiple things like his game studio, his the animation department behind Rick and Morty and other shows that he was working with, and it led to them recasting the characters that he voiced originally.
or even a moment's reflection, he was fired from the show. Even his longtime friend and colleague Dan Harmon summarily denounced him without waiting for a single shred of evidence. And while I'm not going to get into that whole case here and defend Justin Roiland, it should at least be noted that the charges against him were dropped within months due to a lack of evidence, and none of the allegations against him have ever been verified or corroborated. It doesn't.
But they wouldn't. They would be true still if he left. Like they would still be somewhat true. It would be the shame. It would be the guilt of it. That's where people are coming from.
mean he's innocent, but he sure as shit hasn't been found guilty of anything either, and that used to mean something. But anyway, the point is that Justin Roiland is no longer involved with the production of the show, and
That used to not mean anything. That used to not mean anything. If you actually paid attention to half the shit that happened with what's his name? I can't remember his name, but he worked with Disney for a while, or not Disney, not Cartoon Network. What's the other one? Fucking Nickelodeon. My bad. He worked with Nickelodeon for a long while, and I think it was like Weinstein. I don't know. I have to look him up again. So it was Dan Schneider. Dan Schneider uh inappropriately touched children and everything for years, and he never got any like any flack for it, or so to speak. He only got like a slap on the wrist from Viacom and Paramount. I think it was Viacom, then Paramount, then Viacom, or whatever. He worked on so many kids shows with literal children and was having like sexual relations with them. Uh, Also, on that same aspect, it was also like another person, if I remember correctly, I think it was, oh yeah. Um, what's his name? Fucking, uh, I can't remember his name. Damn it. Epstein. Epstein owned an island in the Caribbean and did very, very disgusting things towards people, towards children, and ran a uh ring. I can't say what it was specifically, because if I do, then this video will be removed from YouTube for the foreseeable future. I'm already kind of running the risk with the dude saying that word. You got to be careful with what you say on this platform. Um, but like that is such a like this wasn't this was never ever anybody was never charged for this up until like the late 2010s, till like the late 2010s, early 2020s. And this coming out is only more proof that we really do need to go in and look at what's going on behind these movie studios and businesses.
in any capacity. Besides being one of the show's creators, Roiland shared writing credits throughout the first 6 seasons, although according to some sources, his input was considerably less after season 3. But his biggest contribution was as the primary voice actor in the series, voicing both Rick and Morty, among numerous other side characters. And as a voice actor, his comedic timing and delivery were important factors, as was his near
He was constantly berating his staff. He constantly berated his staff especially when he was drunk. And he would film a lot when he was drunk. I say film, record a lot when he was drunk. Like absolutely hammered half the time. He was just destroying people's like personal feelings and shit. And that's not cool.
constant improvisation.
It wasn't
Aloha! If there's any stragglers in the last room, tell them to get out over here. Get over here, quick, because that last room's filling up with poison, rats, and gas. Who's got chapstick? Here to explain is a little bobo boo.
Can you try to read this one on script?
Man, fuck you.
Since Roiland's
that's
departure,
that's literally like he would do that too. And it was worse when he was drunk. And he meant it a lot of time. Like he's not a good person.
multiple new voice actors were hired to take over his duties, to, well, mixed results. I mean, Ian Cardone, who now voices Rick, does a passable imitation of Roiland's work, at least sometimes. Now, there are times when it's quite obvious it's a different person. As for Morty, now voiced by Harry Belden, the differences are far less subtle. Several other recurring characters that were formerly voiced by Roiland likewise have mixed results. But if the only differences were slight variations in the vocal quality of the characters, it wouldn't really be a big deal. Other shows have seen new voice actors come in that didn't fundamentally change the show. What's missing, though, is Roland's inflection, delivery, dynamics, and timing. But even more obvious is the lack of improvisational talent and creative input of the new voice actors. I have now watched seasons 7 and 8 twice, just to be sure I gave it a fair chance. And I hate to say that I don't think I laughed out loud a single time in 2 seasons.
I don't really think this dude really watched this shit at all. I mean, it's not funny, I'll give him that, but like this show was never funny to begin with. Like if you actually watch the first 3 seasons over in current day, they're not funny. They've never really been funny, and uh it wasn't the writing that caused people to not like it. It was how the story fucking went. And uh Rowling was never really a funny guy to begin with. Uh and again, this goes all the way back to, him not really being a good person. Just good people write good shit. Bad people write bad shit.
Maybe there were a handful of instances where I cracked a smile at a clever quip, but it was almost coincidental. The show just isn't funny anymore. Season 4 was probably the weakest one before Roland's departure, with quite a few unsatisfying episodes, although they were balanced out by good ones like Rattlestar Galactica, Promortius, and the Vat of Acid episodes.
Do not go into that vat. It appears to be full of acid.
It is. Please, he's just a little boy.
I mean, again, this is one of those things where you go, Rowling was never really good at writing to begin with, and the bits that he did write were far and few between that were good.
Let me talk to him.
Tell him we're very upset.
Morty, please step back. That vat is full of acid. It'll melt you completely, leaving only your bones.
God damn it!
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I'm going in the vat!
So, oh, what a tragedy. Oh, well, he's bones now. I guess all debts are paid.
Agreed.
But even in the worst episodes, like the one about dragons for instance, there were jokes, gags, or moments that made me laugh. In fact, I probably got more laughs from the single worst episode of Season 4 than I got in every episode of Seasons 7 and 8 combined. And I don't think that's an exaggeration. Seriously, to make sure I'm not experiencing confirmation bias, I looked up the funniest moments of Seasons 7 and 8 on YouTube. And even had my family watch with me to see if I was missing some of the humor. They couldn't find it either. What part of these clips was supposed to be funny? Was any of it supposed to be funny?
Because they tried to change a story that was satirical at first into something serious. Grand Theft Auto does that. GTA does that. They do that well because it's not the comedy. Like, the comedy in the game isn't a part of the fucking story. The comedy in the game is a part of the comedy of the fucking game. But if you actually played the story and turned off your fucking, is this woke? Is this woke? It's gotta be woke. It's gotta be woke. Fucking goddamn noggin or brain or whatever the fuck. And actually enjoyed the piece of media you were fucking in, like, you bought and or played, then, like, that wouldn't be a problem.
Is Rick and Morty just not a comedy anymore? Because I
It
mean, the
wasn't
writing's still
supposed. It was
competent, I
supposed
guess.
to be,
There's still
but
some degree of narrative.
it was supposed to be, but because like how things are nowadays and like how things whatever, they tried to do something with it. They tried to create a comedy with it. Or try to create something serious out of a comedy, and it didn't work. But the story behind GTA games is usually pretty serious and is very in depth. Versus this was never supposed to be in depth.
Cohesion, character beats, and plot development, there just isn't any humor. Now, I know comedy is subjective, and maybe some people find humor where I see none, but at the very least, it is clear that the show is different now. And the ratings have steadily declined since season 6, so maybe I'm not the only one who's noticed. The show obviously still has its fans, but I wonder how many of them are just holding on out of a sense of loyalty or habit. In any event, with the departure of a single creator,
I would be willing to guess that it's probably a large part of them. Like a large part of the population is watching Rick and Morty because out of habit, and they've watched it since the first season. As for like GTA, it was it's rare that we get a new Grand Theft Auto title, and when we do, it's usually fucking like knockout miss, like knockout.
Figure, albeit a pretty important one, Rick and Morty is a different series. And if it can happen to them, it can certainly happen to GTA with the loss of numerous top creative forces and the addition of a diverse and inclusive workforce to take their place. And without the satirical, offensive, edgy humor of previous installments,
it's pulling fucking straws, man. It's pulling straws. It's trying to connect something that doesn't connect. It's like trying to put a fucking Xbox game in a PlayStation or putting a fucking Wii title in a Switch. Like it just doesn't work because it can't fit, or it just doesn't work because it just doesn't fucking work. He's just pulling straws.
GTA, just like Rick and Morty, will be a different experience. Now, for a hopeful and optimistic caveat. After a certain discordant political event and its inevitable cultural fallout in late 2024, there may have been some quiet changes behind the scenes. For instance, we know that Rockstar's parent company, Take-Two Interactive, removed explicit DEI language from its 2025 annual.
The reason why they did was because of the current presidency. Because they said that they would fucking charge people if if you use DEI, which DEI stands for diverse, equity, and inclusion. It would help everybody. It is just a normal fucking thing that you should have. And if you don't fucking have it, I really don't fucking respect you.
A 10-K report, which is filed with the SEC, shifting from support for, quote, social justice, LGBTQ plus
MMIW G2SLGBTQIA+.
There it is again. It's him fucking pulling straws. It's him trying to be a fucking grifter and going, I have to fucking, I have to prove my penis size. That's what it is. I have to prove my penis size. I have to prove that I voted for Donald Trump in 2024.
And minority scholarships to emphasizing a more nebulous, quote, diversity of thought as key to innovation. Couple that with numerous delays of GTA 6 since, and there might be some hope of a course correction.
Oh my god, the reason why the game was fucking delayed was because it wasn't finished. It wasn't finished. They already said it. They said it themselves. They were like, hey, we're not done. And anybody who's like saying that this is because of the woke, they're getting rid of the woke stuff from the game. Like, no, they don't care. They don't. Why would they? Why the fuck would they? Why the fuck would you care? This is that stupid shit that everybody goes and yells at y'all for. That yells at you for. And goes, you're the problem. And you know why you're the fucking problem? Because you're fucking stupid.
Recently, it was revealed that GTA 6 is about 18 months behind schedule, and there have been rumors that Rockstar was making some adjustments to the narrative tone of the game.
No, there wasn't. There wasn't. There was never rumors of that. You know what they were doing? I'm not kidding. They were fixing the game. I'm not kidding. You can look it up. Right now. Pause this video. I'll wait and you can look it up and you'll say, damn, Stormy's right. Because the reason why they're 18 months behind schedule is because there was a massive fucking pandemic in between the start of the development, like true development. Give me 1 second. I gotta let my cat out. Anyway, back to what I was saying. But like that's the point of it, is like they did it because the game wasn't finished, because the title wasn't done, because they weren't done finishing the game. They hadn't finished the game.
This is pure speculation, but I suspect that GTA 6 was filled with bullshit identity politics and politically correct language. But after the culture shift in 2025, they decided to roll it back some. At least that's my hope. I guess we won't know for sure until it actually launches in...
No, that had nothing to do with the story. You're just pulling... Oh, okay. Okay. We're good. We're good. Okay. They were just pulling for fucking... You're just pulling for fucking straws like you normal... like the right normally does. You know what this is? This is grift. This is bootlicking. This is saying Donald Trump's my daddy. As for this is him just fucking openly saying that he thinks that I hope it was because of that. No, it wasn't. It was because the game was behind on their deadlines. And there was a COVID pandemic that caused the game to get delayed. And the game was ultimately finally be able to be released in 2026. And even still, like 18 months. I think the original release date was in 2025. That's about this time of year. About that time of year when November is going to hit.
November. Even without the bold and clever writing of prior releases, GTA 6 may still be a great video game, with a huge, highly polished open world and fun, engaging gameplay and mechanics, the same as it has been since GTA 3 all the way back in 2001. But it was the irreverent tone, offensive humor, and ruthless satire that made it stand apart from similar sandbox adventures.
No.
If Rockstar loses that bold and fearless spirit that helped elevate the series to a cultural phenomenon, the series may just lose its favorite status at the head of the table.
It was the story. The story was rich. All Grand Theft Auto stories are rich and flavorful in terms of like narrative. All of them have. And I have no reason to doubt that the story of this game is going to be anything less.
And, just as with Rick and Morty before it, pop culture is certain to suffer as a result. Anyway, what do you all think?
This is the most breedable twink you could also like fucking have. This is somebody who has to prove that he's straight. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. This is him trying to like prove that he's straight.
Do you think GTA 6 will be negatively affected by sanitized and politically correct writing? Will the game still be worth playing if so? Join the conversation in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Bye for now. We hope to see you next time in the
I think this is the same video. Let me. I think he uploaded this
Rate the
twice.
series to a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah. Okay. So he just uploaded the same video twice. This was uploaded 3 days ago, and this was uploaded today. Or yeah, today technically. So of course, this is him like actually pulling straws just to uh have some stupid fucking thing to bitch about so that way he could um call people this or call people that because he doesn't have anything else better to do in his life. Grand Theft Auto 6 will not be affected by the so-called woke left. It's not a real thing. There's no real woke thing. Everybody's woke if you think about it. Everybody's woke. You're woke. I'm woke. It's just the way of life. And I'm sorry for this video being 3/4 of an hour long, but it had to be said because we can't let these people get away with it. We really can't. Y'all have a good day or night, whatever. I'll see you later.